You think no? There you go.
Call to order, everybody, go to the city council meeting for Monday, April 20th, 2026. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sanchez. Present. Vice Mayor Johnson.
Here.
Mayor Parr.
Here.
Councilmember Calderon.
Yeah.
Councilmember Roberts.
Here. Please rise. Salute. Pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Proclamations or inductions of new or promoted employees will now go to community participation forum. Members of the public may address the city council on matters not listed on the agenda. The city council may not discuss nor take action on any community participation item brought forward by a member of the community. Comments are requested to be limited with 3 minutes.
No speaker cards. Mr. Mayor.
Seeing none, we will now move to consent agenda items 1 through 5.
If I have a question on consent agenda, we have to pull it. We do.
Yes.
Then I will.
No.
I'll just read it to stop. That's what we got. Thank you.
So I have a question. So the consent involves all of these?
1 through 5, yes. Up to-
Oh, it is 1 through 5?
Yeah. That's what I.
Yeah, so then in that case, I'm gonna request a pull. Can we request to pull the council meeting minutes? Yeah, so item number 1 and number 4. Excuse me, number 1 and number 5.
That require discussion or we just go on?
You just request it and then, discuss it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull consent item number 1 and number 5.
Roll call.
Yeah.
So you can go on with item 1.
Doesn't require a motion.
Okay, apologies, I wasn't able to flag this sooner, but on the minutes for April 6th, page 3, in terms of the roll call for planning commissioner, I just want to note for Jose Santana as planning commissioner, the vote does say 3-2-0, but should it technically say 3-0-2? Because the 2s would mean a no, and no is actually an abstain. So just for the record, I'm not sure if that needs to be clarified.
I put the abstains in the middle and then the no's at the end.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm that that's appropriate for the record. If someone were to read this, that they're not reading it as no, but rather an abstain.
Yeah, it says abstain on there, right? Like your name is next to
Oh,
abstain.
yeah. Okay, that's right. So if there's no concerns, then,
You're good.
well, I just wanted to make sure that the staff is in agreement.
We could amend it and bring the minutes back with the changes in the numbers if.
With the order. I just want to make sure that the
Yeah.
order is correct.
Landon, is the order correct?
I don't know. I don't know that there's an accepted format to have abstentions in the center or at the end.
Okay.
But I think the record is the minutes are clear on what took place. I will say that.
If you feel that if the city attorney feels that the record is clear, then I would support his advice and just keeping and passing the minutes as is. Okay. So then I'll make a motion to approve item number 1, council meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Let's open this up for public comment.
Open this, item number 1 in our consent agenda. Any minutes to the public for any discussion? Then I will close public comment.
Okay, so my motion is to approve council meeting minutes for March 16th, April 6th, and the regular, My motion is to approve special city council meeting minutes for March 16th, April 6th, and regular city council meeting minutes for April 6th, 2026.
I'll second.
Councilmember Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilmember Calderon,
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yeah.
Mayor Farr.
Yes. Request item number 5 also.
Yes. Should we go ahead and do number 2 and number 3 and 4 first?
Yeah.
One number 2.
I motion to approve item number 2, number 3, and number 4. Or should we separate?
Consent agenda as needs to be open public comment. And then you can entertain a motion at that point.
Moving up the remainder of the consent agenda for public comment.
I opened the remaining numbers 2, 3, 4, 5 to public comment. Seeing none, we'll close public comment and now move to the item hold.
So I make the motion to approve consent agenda item number 2, 3, and 4.
I'll second.
Councilmember Calderon,
Yes.
Mayor Farr,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
No.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yeah.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Yes. Okay, so I did pull agenda item number 5, employment agreement by the electric director. As it is noted, we did have a couple of relatable items on the agenda today in regards to salary for various directors. I think overall, I just want to say that I do support the individuals that are stepping into this role and the individuals that are occupying these positions of leadership for the city of Gridley are extremely qualified. I can speak for myself that they have my full support. And I just want to note for the record that there was a wage study that the city of Gridley Council approved a couple months ago. And the results that were given from that wage study did provide us a lot of clear guidance as to what salary schedule and salary spectrum these city director positions should have in order to keep up with competition by nearby cities. And again, my vote tonight for these positions and specifically for the electric director is not reflective of the individual, but rather of the economic situation that I know a lot of the public has had comments on in regards to, is it adequate or appropriate enough for a town of our size to be paying a certain salary? And I think for the electric director, there is a more robust conversation that can be had as to why that salary does require and is dignified of a certain salary schedule, but because of recent comments from the community and their expressed concerns about it potentially being too high, I'm gonna have to respectfully vote no. Again, this is not a reflection of the person, but just the salary schedule that was provided to us. I think is something that we'll have to look for in the future. And again, that is my explanation as to my concerns and aligning them with what the community has expressed. Thank you.
I'd like to comment also, please. I agree with what Councilmember Sanchez has said. We have our department heads who are highly qualified and so I want to agree with you.
Any other comments?
No, I think that I understood the salary. And regardless of how people think, his job is very important. And he been managing very well. my full support.
Any other comments, Council? I think at this point, we'll entertain a motion.
Public.
Open it up to public comment, Mr. Mayor.
Item number 5 on the consent agenda, I open up for public comment. None, we will close public comment and ask for a motion on this, item number 5.
All motion to approve resolution 2026 R 013. Resolution City of Gridley Council adopting employment agreement with Ryan Carlson, Electric Director, authorize the mayor to execute on behalf of the city of Gridley or City Council.
Consent,
That's it.
Paul, please.
Mayor Parr,
Yes.
Councilmember Calderon,
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Councilmember Sanchez,
No.
Vice Mayor Johnson.
No. Good. Item number 6.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I bring you the staff report and presentation more as of an informational and I really requesting or seeking feedback from council and the public if there are any. We have a public funds fund in our city that we collect certain revenue from the electric bills. And that goes for the public to be used for the public. So if someone goes out and buys a new refrigerator, if it meets the energy efficiency, they get a certain amount of rebate. Same thing if they buy, electric dryer or other items, they're eligible for a rebate if they meet the criteria. So our current program is it's not being used as much as we'd like by the public. We did attempt ways to improve it. We did an online application so they can do it all online and then it just goes directly to us, which it did help a little bit, but still we're seeing months that there's no activity or some months of 1 or 2 rebates, which isn't a big deal, but now we have a surplus in that fund and it's not being used. So my presentation here is really to bring in new programs, new ways that it'll help the community. And I'm happy to go over it with the council and the public. And then if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer that after. So these are our current programs that we have. There's 2 slides. This is the first slide. Again, if someone buys a clothes washer, clothes dryer, not gas, it has to be electric. Dishwasher, heat pump, water heater, on the right hand side, that's the rebates that they will get if they purchase one of these. Go ahead to the next slide. This is if they do some home improvements, central AC, whole house fan, insulation, replace windows to include sliding doors as well. And again, on the right side, that's the rebate there. And this is what we offer for residential. There is a commercial side as well, but I kind of want to focus on the residential for now. So then go ahead and go on this next slide. So applications, I went ahead and added the link there that it'll take them directly to the site where they can select if they purchase a new dryer, etc. We've seen an increase in participation using the digital applications, but it's still, as I said earlier, still not as used as much as we'd like. There's additional program promotion that can increase participation. So we have tried doing some outreach, create little flyers, put on a utility bill, the QR code, but still it remains low. And then go ahead and go on the next slide, the next one. So new, this is just a couple of the programs that I would like to bring in. So expanded HVAC offerings, so an HVAC tune-up, before it starts to get hot, people like to get a tune-up on their HVACs, so that we can offer, $50 rebate or something like that. Purchase of an electric vehicle, either used or new, this one's interesting. So they have two options. There's our public benefit here in Gridley will cover electric vehicle rebates if they are income qualified. Those that aren't income qualified, so they make a little bit more, that can be funded through CARB. They have a low carbon fuel standards program, which I'm currently looking into. It looks like we have to sign up and do some stuff. So but there is options for both low income qualified and non-income qualified. I'm still looking into a little bit on that. Electrification offerings. So if they go from a gas stove to a electric stove on stovetop, that could offer. Some cities do offer free offerings for residential customers, such as like I have it on the next slide. I can't remember, but go ahead and go. LED lamps, high performance shower heads, load sensing power strips. Some cities like the city of Lodi offer free for our residents here. This list is also other programs we could bring in with a suggested rebate. What I'm seeking here is guidance. Is if some of these rebates seem a little too high, or you want to adjust something, or you don't like one program like the e-bike voucher, for example, we don't have to offer that. I just want to, I'm bringing this to you to kind of get a feedback of what we want to see. But in my research from cities that offer their own power, and even including Roseville and Redding and Lodi mainly, this is what they offer to their residents. So I'm trying to kind of mimic that. So then we stay pretty on top of it from what other cities are doing. So go ahead in the next slide. I think it's the biggest one. It's one that we would offer as well. It's a Gridley income qualified utility assistance program. We do it similar like how HEAP does, the Community Action Agency. We would offer it one time a year for our residents that are challenged, going through financial hardships, and are maybe about to be shut off due to non-payment or something like that. We can help them out. And this is money that would go from our public benefit fund to our electric benefit fund. The $500 that I put there, if again, I'm just seeking feedback. If you think $500 is too much, maybe we want to lower it or modify that. I'm open to suggestions. Since it's just a draft, something we've been working on for a while. And I'm just seeking feedback. Along with this one too, I did create I don't know if you have it, Carmen, an application that would help us here in finance verify to see if they are income qualified. So they have to submit some documents to us to verify their income. It's about 3-pager. It shouldn't take long. We can even try to convert this over to online, so they can print it or put it online. They sign. We review it. If they qualify, then we'll apply the funds to their account, and in hopes to assist them, assist those families that are going through the financial hardship. On this first page on the right-hand side, there's a little chart right here. It's the federal poverty level that can be adjusted to if council goes to that direction. I just put the 200 FPL federal poverty level. It could be 175, it could be 150, it can be 225. There's a chart. You can Google federal poverty level and it gives you a chart. And that's literally where I got this little graph from, the family size graph. So that's pretty much it. I'm open to suggestions, comments. If we don't like some of these programs, if we like them, I just want to get some feedback. Council on the public.
So I think, and it's just what I'm thinking is if we can keep it to the essentials for like heating, air conditioning, the basics, I think, and then for maybe the trigger, if someone's getting their electricity shut off because they can't pay, that should be the trigger to give them assistance for that. As far as electric cars and stuff, let's just keep it to the basics for people that really need it.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
on the electric, like vehicles, e-bikes, stuff like that, you know, my thinking was, you know, we give this person buys an e-bike or whatever. They get this rebate, well, they have to charge it, right? So their electric usage is gonna go up. So then that's just more money, you know, to the electric fund. So that's my thinking. These like I said, public benefit fund is currently at a surplus because it's not being used. We're trying to use it. We're trying to promote it as much as we can.
So for the audience, how much is in that fund right now?
We're projected at June 30 is projected to be slightly over $1 million.
And this is the public benefit account.
This is a public benefit account. It's restricted. We can't use it to build roads. We can't use it to.
Yeah, I understand that, but yeah, okay.
Question. I request, I'd really like to have a copy of the income guideline.
Okay.
Okay, I don't see it in my pocket. The other one is this information being mailed to residents?
We have done mailing in the past and we've also attached it to a QR code on the utility bills in the past as well. We have flyers in the lobby downstairs in multiple places.
Because some of our residents don't know how to play with laptops, and that's one of the issues that we need to be more inclusive with people who are unable to really navigate the web.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible, but I would really like to see if we can do that, especially with the people who know already are low income.
Yeah, we can do another mass mailer with utility bills and do a separate flyer. We can also post it around town, you know, in the public places where you're allowed, just to get the information out.
So when you're doing a mass mailer and educating the public, can you use those funds?
There is,
Thanks for that.
we might be able to. So public benefit funds has 4 uses. It's the rebates, which we're doing, the utility assistance, which we plan on doing. There's one it's like research and development or something like that where we research. We also plan on doing that one too with NCPA. And I'm trying to blank on the 4th one.
Well, I guess I'll put on this question to mail out that information to folks and to educate them. And to send out information, can we use those funds from that $1 million?
Well, like the postage and the flyers and
Yes,
stuff to pay for that. We may be able to because it's related to that. I'll have to confirm it.
If we
with that.
can, that would be great, so we can at least use that.
You could also attach it to the utility bills when you mail the bills out, do an insert
Okay.
and add it to the utility bill as well.
Yeah.
And one thing for the council to consider is, as we move further, looking into the use of these programs, you may want to reevaluate and have other programs that maybe there aren't families that can do the full weatherization. Maybe there's a portion that the city may want to do that's fully funded, depending on the balance of that fund.
So wasn't there a company downtown at one time that was doing those upgrades and stuff here on Hazel Street? Because I know that they were doing a lot of that years ago.
The weatherization right now is coming through Community Action Agency for account holders. They'll go out and do a weatherization program. So we don't want to mimic what's already available. We want to be providing other, we've done lighting, free lighting, we've done light bulbs. But we may want to look to see what the need is. So there may be just an inquiry, even a survey from the community, just put a survey out there and see what is, if we don't see any activity or any use of those funds, we may want to find out why. Maybe they don't have money for a refrigerator. If they're just gonna get a $500 rebate and the refrigerator is $1,200, maybe we you know, we do it 50-50, or we determine we have enough for X amount of refrigerators.
That's,
So we really need to evaluate. It's gonna have to be more tailored to what the community needs.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then also, if we don't use this money, what happens?
I don't know that we lose it, but
Okay,
I would have to, that's a
And
good
then-
question.
where does the money come from?
But it comes from the utility bill, so it's a percentage, I think it's 2.85% of the charges of each customer's utility bills, yeah.
Uses this fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you look at your bill, there's a public benefit charge kind of at the bottom,
Okay.
and that's it.
Yeah, I'm just surprised it's $7 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not being used.
Okay.
It hasn't been used and we were trying. But it surely, if people don't use it, it's just gonna keep growing.
Again, it's looking at your community base. Maybe there isn't, people can't afford to put new windows. Maybe we, you know, look into more funding for special programs. Or lighting, or,
Yeah, something
you
that's.
know, something that's gonna be used, so
Right.
we can tailor it and we can change it throughout the year if we need to, but this is a start, is setting it up and getting a few of the programs and modifying the updates on what the rebates are gonna be.
I have a couple questions. I know this is an informational, so I'd rather take this time to kind of look at the micro details. So along with what Councilmember Calderon said with the eligibility, federal poverty level, do we think that we need to adjust this to be a bit more reflective of our city? And do we have data available to do that? For example, like Councilmember Calderon has always said too, he's a big advocate for seniors. I don't know, maybe we need a special senior household income bracket, or if we feel that, for example, household family size 1 would suffice. I'm not too familiar with, you know, what those monthly income brackets for our elders are, if they're receiving Social Security or if they're receiving any other type of income, if they would qualify. So I just wanted to flag that. Maybe,
If you Google FPL or federal poverty level, it gives you where I got those numbers, and it gives you like 10 other choices based on percentages. So I just chose 200 because it was just to put a placeholder, and it's right in the middle. But we could decrease it to 150, we can increase it to 250. So yeah, we can.
and then I know you could touch on it a little bit. Vice Mayor Johnson mentioned the heat program. Do we have any concerns that a City of Gridley utility customer could essentially double dip with this one-time assistance? Say in a couple months, they might still be unemployed and be dealing with something. Would they still be able to qualify for heat assistance as well within the same calendar year? So I just want to flag that for you.
I think they should, but let me double check and confirm because it's two different programs, right? I know that some in the past, some utility customers have gone to HEAP, and then Catholic Church will also help them. You know, so it's two different programs. So I want to say yes, but let me confirm with that.
I mean, personally, I would be supportive because I've been in situations where, you know, you still haven't been able to find a job, and sometimes you do need, for lack of a better word, double dipping, or you need that assistance again.
Right.
Because especially right now, the job market, especially for young people, single parents, it's really tough out there right now.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to highlight that. And then in terms of the application, on page 2, you have household members. You're requesting the social security of every household member. Why is that?
No, just the last 4 digits.
Or just the last 4 digits? But what is the reason for that? Is that typical of these type of utility programs where you need to
From
get
what
every
I've seen
piece of
on other
information?
cities, yeah, yeah. So all the information, that application, I got pulled from pieces of other cities what they're requesting, and that seems to be the normal.
And well, I'm just gonna ask. So obviously I know that not everyone might be of US citizenship. There's green card status, and I think from my information, you know, I think even if you have a green card status, you don't get a social security number until like 10 years of working. So I want to ask, would those folks still qualify? And in that case, instead of the last 4 of a social security number, it would be the ITN number. Would residents qualify for that? And also, are we capturing them here?
Yeah, this is still a draft, so we can amend it if you wanted to modify that to add both or remove it.
Yeah.
If you know, we have time, it's a draft.
Just a second,
Oh, no, I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay.
I know Calderon and Vice Mayor Johnson had a question, comment.
My question is, refers to, is anybody beyond the city limits, could benefit from this program?
No, they have to
Yes,
be
inside the city
a
limits.
early utility customer with us.
Yeah, the only comment I wanna make is on the last meeting, which I discussed, and I think it's more of preventing fraud by taking the last four probably of the social security number, just for identification, so there isn't people that are abusing it.
Yeah, I think that's the thinking behind the other cities, like if they don't wanna put this guy and then he also has parents over here and put him on the parents' account too. So I think it is kind of to try to prevent fraud a little bit, but there's guidance on page 1, if someone has a SNAP recipient, I think they automatically qualify. So, there's those.
Yeah. And then I think my last question is gonna be just quickly giving feedback on the potential rebate offerings. You listed quite a few. I think a lot of these are great. I think if this comes before the city council next time, if you could provide just a quick 2 sentences for each of these rebate programs,
Sure.
I think that would help the city council understand, hey, maybe this one's actually better. Like for example, the e-bike voucher, I think that would be great. There's a lot of people driving around town more with motorized scooters. I don't know if they're required to have a license for some of those type of operations, but if this is an opportunity for those folks that are tapping into getting a scooter to get around town versus walking, I think that would be a good one. And then the EV charger, I think my question would be, will this be at the residence, right, to charge it? The shade tree program sounds good, but I don't know what it means or what it would do. And I think just going back to the e-bike and the electrical vehicle, I think those would be something worth exploring. And then I would just like to say, I know since I've been on city council since 2020, I've tried to continue to bring up the idea of getting a city charger. I know city administrator, you've been working on it, but if we can continue along with our electric director, maybe in the next couple of weeks, have a plan come to city council. Instead of folks going to Chico or going to Yuba City and charging at New Earth, what is an update as to the city of Gridley actually being able to finally get an EV charger? Because I know a lot of people ask me about that.
The EV charger, I can provide a quick little update on that one. We currently have a grant that we applied for to start planning that. We're waiting to hear back from the grant. We don't know if we're awarded yet. But we do have one that we submitted 3 weeks ago, something like that.
And it's for, we have 2 locations, if you recall. There's one on Laurel, and then there's another one on 57 East Gridley. That's another site, and then the other one we noticed was Vieira Park, potentially to put a EV charging station. So what this grant allows us to do is plan for the design, because there's a cost for that. And so that's the first step. We would get the design, and then we would go ahead and go in for the construction of it. So that's where we're at right now.
And Laurel Street, is that the Public Works?
The Works Warehouse, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's hard because unless you have signs around town saying, hey, go out here. I think it's also worth exploring if there's anyone on private property, whether it's at Safeway, maybe we can negotiate a contract to put something there. Because otherwise we're gonna be continue to lose potential profit.
So, but my question would be on the charging system, if we get a grant to install those. So when somebody pulls up the charges, are we charging them for that? Or is it free?
Oh, let me get back to you on that one. It's grants are very specific to, and we have to follow their rules. So let me get an answer for you on that one.
Okay, because there's gonna be maintenance that has to go along with that, and there has to be some type of a charge, in my opinion. For, maintenance of that, and it is gonna be new for very long, so just keep that in mind.
So going back to the public benefit, that's something that we would look at. It's a benefit to the community. So an EV charging station is something that we could utilize for building and constructing as well. And then we also have CARB is the other one. So there's 2 options for that. I think we're looking into whatever possibilities that we have, and there's funds in both of those accounts. So we just have to get the design work done. So because those may not cover the design work, so.
Well, I have a question. So if we were to send out a survey, you know, Mark, yes, if you are an electric vehicle owner, and in your past experience of sending out surveys, is the city pretty responsive on those or no? So it's hard to gauge the need on that, unless you do like a Facebook poll on the city of Gridley social media.
I think we've done it in the past and we've gotten responses that was for housing and other projects within the city that were sent out. It would be our first time, I think, for the rebate that we've sent out a survey.
Yeah, I've done surveys on Facebook for recreation. There's a couple comments and a couple people that participate. But it's not in the hundreds, in the 40s.
Thank you.
I have a couple of comments. Understand that this program is for families that are having trouble in their hands meet, paying their electric bill and so forth. Now, I don't see anywhere in that vendor that this money's for, that is for an electric vehicle. $3,500, $3,000 rebate for an electric vehicle. And there's people that can't pay their electric bill. I don't, same with an electric bike, get $1,150, with the bank rebate. To me, that money could be more well used for families that are struggling, trying to pay their bills, even pay their food bills. So I'm very supportive of this, but I'm not supportive in giving somebody $33,000 for an electric vehicle. My opinion.
Yeah, and this is the feedback I want, so I mean, if council, that's council's direction, you know, we can scratch it off.
Well, is it okay if I
Please.
can counter you? I would just say maybe if we can get an estimate back from our finance director, because even if, let's say someone were to buy an e-bike, they get a rebate of $1,000. Over the course of even a year, the city would recoup that back in electric charges, right? And maybe even more?
I'm not sure on.
Or like what would the
I'm not sure
scenario
on the
be?
e-bike, but I know the vehicles do take quite a bit to, or not the EV, the EV vehicles, they do take quite a bit of electricity to charge.
So I wonder if,
Family has some, and they have solar as well, and their bill is still higher than some people without either.
What kind of income would justify a low end, whatever income that would justify an electric car? That money could be spent better, in my opinion, on families that need that.
That's the way I look at it. Again,
That's my.
yeah, I think if you can come back to us with some of those scenarios, like, okay, if someone were to buy an e-bike or EV, what would that look like if we were to give the rebate, and then what would be the return within a year or 2 years of that to the city and electric use?
It might be a little bit difficult, sorry, Mayor, because if someone stays home and doesn't work, you know, they don't drive a lot, so they don't need a charger. If someone works in Chico, Yuba City, Live Oak area, you know, they might charge a little bit more. So I'm sure Tesla or something can give me some kind of average. And I can bring that back, and I can Google some popular e-bikes, and you know, I'm sure they have averages too, and I can bring that back to council next meeting.
One comment, what if you qualify for an electric vehicle, you get $3,000 rebate, and a month later you sell it.
Yeah.
Or an electric bike. High ticket items, you sell it, make the money. I mean, there have to be some pretty strict rules and regulations, I think. It's just straightforward to me.
I'm wondering if it would help to send a survey out, maybe with the QR code for people. I think we should probably hear from the community to hear back how they feel or what they would have use of. Or maybe they've been wanting to get windows and they're seeing the information and they have input. So I think This is just a presentation for you council to see what is available out there. And I do want to mention, I know that there is a great need for our community. And this program is funded, everybody in the community pays into this. So it should be all inclusive. Because everyone is participating and they're paying into public benefit. It's part of your utility bill. So we want to make sure that it's all inclusive and we have programs for everyone, but also feedback from the community, I think would be helpful, maybe with a QR code and have them, maybe we can do a survey and have them say, oh, I would do windows, I would do refrigeration, I would do, and depending on what we get back, maybe we can gear that towards, you know what, nobody would buy it an e-bike. Why do we even have it on here? Or, you know what, there's a lot of people that need HVAC, maybe we need to increase that. So there's ways to look at it. And again, it's something that you can adjust accordingly as you move into it. We just wanted you to be aware there is a large amount in this fund. We should utilize it and we need to come up with ways for the community to want to use it. So it has to be tailored to what your community is needing. So I think a survey would be in order.
Well, I think it's a very good project, a good asset from the people of Gridley. We're just gonna have to tailor and make it to the needs and the wants, especially the needs.
We can do a survey and report the results.
Just one quick, I think we answered it, but say there's $1 million in there, that increases that is funded by a percentage of the bills, the electrical bills that are paid.
Yeah, yes.
Now, if we don't use it or in short over amount of time, does that go away or does it just continue to build?
No, I would be very surprised if I find something that says we lose it.
Say it again?
I'd be very surprised to find something that says we lose it if we don't use it. But I mean, this money is just,
Well, how's it been passed? It's been growing, how many years have been?
it's been going for years.
How many?
For years, I don't.
10 years?
It's a
Probably more.
requirement. We have to charge that.
I understand. So I guess my question was gonna be next, is per year, how much goes into that fund? I know it fluctuates because of is a percentage of what they're being
It's
charged.
based
Yeah,
on
it's
consumption.
2.8.
So it's based on consumption, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of hard. I think average here recently in the last maybe 3-4 years, maybe it's been netting 120.
Okay, so we need to take that consideration moving forward, if this becomes popular, we need to pace it.
Yeah, and my plan would be set a budget,
Yeah.
you know, for the utility assistance, let's set a budget at maybe 30,000. And then if it gets all used, then we'll come back, it's like, hey, we'll come back to council, like, it's been used. The people are getting a lot of help with their utility bills, but we're at budget. Should we increase another 20? Should we increase another 10? We'll bring that back to council. So I want to set budget on every item, so we just don't go crazy if it gets popular.
Okay. I repeat, it's a good program, wonderful program. We just got to put some guardrails on it.
Yes.
Make sure that it's not being that misused. Right, people are getting the benefit.
Yeah.
I have two things. I think the new truck stop on South 99, that's gonna have EV chargers.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, and then I don't need to put our electric director on the spot, but do you have any recommendations or thoughts? I know this is more on the financial side, but in terms of the rebate offerings, do you have any suggestions or recommendations? What we should prioritize out of all of?
Well, as you were speaking about, I was kind of looking at public benefit funds and things that we use for. There's it's like when we put in the EV charging stations, there's also, it looks like you can use the funds for upgrading infrastructure to make those things happen. So that could be used to upgrade your system to a further spot if you wanted an EV charger further out, so that helps out strengthening your system. As far as there were some solar rebates that help people get solar. That was another thing that was mentioned on there. I spoke with Martine about this previously. I was hoping that it was going to be, we'd be able to give, you know, some sort of discount, but I don't know if that's entirely possible. You know, once a year utility discount. But as far as items on there. I mean, I feel like people mostly struggle in the summer, you know, and making their home more energy efficient. I mean, besides the e-bikes, I mean, windows and air conditioning, I mean, I personally would think that was, people would find that most important, or important, since it seems like, you know, that's when the utility bills are the highest.
And well, I guess the last question, because I know we've been on this for a while, sorry, would we then actually, with like the windows, would that be something that we would send out electric department or public works to do, or would we need a contract out for these services? How would that work?
Yeah, how that works is the homeowner will say, I want to replace this window. They'll buy everything, pay for everything, and once that's been complete, they'll submit the application to us and say, they ask for date completion, ask for receipts, ask for who did it, blah, blah, blah. And then we have a contract with a third party that assists us, ESG. They review everything and then they'll get back to us like, okay, this person qualifies. Some of these aren't, they don't get a check. Some of these just get $100 rebate to or credit to their utility account. So there's only a handful that they actually receive a check.
Oh, okay.
Majority of these, they don't even see the money, it just gets applied to their account, like the refrigerator. The dryer one, the window one, it just gets applied to their account as a credit. So then their next bill, it won't go to like their water sewer, it'll just be on their electric chargers.
Thank you, Ryan, thank you.
Yeah.
And then there's also a commercial.
Yeah,
Commercial
there's
program,
commercial
too.
ones too, they're a little bit similar, but they're different as well. I wanted to focus on residential first and then start getting.
And those accounts are separate?
Yes.
Okay, so how much is in the commercial?
Oh, the fund, no,
They're all
no,
together.
it's all one lump sum.
So if I got it straight, this fund is for mainly for the benefit of residents of Gridley that need help. And like paying electric bill or whatever, the windows and air conditioning. So it's not there for putting in a EV charging station in your house.
No, because we don't have that program right now, so it's only on.
The thing has a rebate for it.
Yeah, that's, I just based it off what other cities offer. I mean, we can, if council doesn't want to do that one, we
We're
don't.
gonna refine this before it's.
Yeah, this is just a draft.
Okay.
We're gonna revisit it in the
Get
future.
on this stuff.
And just to clarify, the public benefit is for the benefit of all public. Not just low income, so everyone is paying into this, everyone should benefit from it.
Just qualified.
Depending on if it's the income, based on income, that program, then yes. If it's based on the type of material that you're buying or purchasing for the rebate, then yes. There's guidelines for all the programs. So we want to have an array of programs.
Okay, I get it now.
More comments? I'll open up to the residents if there's any comments. Seeing none, close public comments.
Thank you.
Thanks, Martin. We need to.
Yes.
Correction, I believe.
Just information.
We will now move on to item number 7. Stephanie States made this assessment.
Evening,
Aaron.
also. Yeah, I talked about this just about a month and a half ago. This is the maintenance assessment district for Stephanie Estates. This is to ensure that that subdivision has a fund to fund an income to fund the maintenance of that area. I post lot X, which is the drainage basin and all the landscaping out there. Proposition 218 required us to notify the stakeholders, the owners, which is one single owner, as we know. And we have done that. We have tallied that vote and they have agreed. So we are back here to solidify that resolution. It's a constitutionally governed process. It's not just a policy. This is something that is in the California Constitution. And every step under this proposition has been completed. This includes both ongoing maintenance and long-term sustainability through the reserve funding, to maintenance, repairs, utilities, long-term replacement. So section formally establishes the district and allows the assessment to be collected. Staff recommends adopting this resolution and forming this maintenance district for Stephen Estates. Are there any questions?
Yes, so if we do this, I guess my first question would be, so the city takes responsibility of the maintenance of that? So my second question would be, why wouldn't we defer that until later on and let the property owner take care of that until the houses are built and sold? That makes sense.
This is just how Gridley does things. This is the maintenance assessment districts are applied to all new subdivisions. This is the.
So, okay, so then I guess my question would be then, why now? Why couldn't we defer that? I guess I'm looking at it this way, we're taking responsibility now.
Yeah.
And if we waited and we let the property owner take and control of that and maintain it until things were sold, would that benefit us in the long run? Does that make sense?
The property owner can't maintain city infrastructure. This is for the maintenance of city infrastructure. This is for stormwater, detention, basin, irrigation, landscaping. These are things that our city would manage. So we wouldn't want a property owner managing our infrastructure. So if you establish it now before they start subdividing all the lots, then we're having to notice all these different lot owners. If you do it before and you get that established ahead of time, once the lots are sold, then everyone is aware of what the requirement is for the maintenance district. And we have other maintenance districts set up that way as well. We did it with Heron Landing and Eagle Meadows as well.
Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying these questions, guys.
So I think what you were asking, so if we approve this now, they're going to be paying the city that money that we're using to maintain it, right? The developer is.
Yes.
It's our own properties.
It's attached to the property.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's baked into the deed.
So we're not paying to maintain that stuff. The developer, the landowner is. And then when it gets sold, then it gets split up against all of them.
We're gonna levy the property. If it's just one parcel, then that's what we levy. Whatever number of parcels are out there, that's what we're gonna levy annually.
And item number D says that levy is collected on the county tax rolls.
Yes, usually we put that in August.
I have a question. So are they gonna accrue this bill after our vote tonight, or when does this kick start?
Whenever their next tax season is, so when they pay their taxes for it. So I think this property is in escrow and it's waiting to be purchased by the developer. And so it'll be attached to that purchase.
And the developer was informed that this is coming their way?
So the person who buys the property, they're, like I said, this is all baked into the deed. So.
What I'm saying the
Yes.
developer now, because I know that we've had some issues in prior years around communication, and so I just wanna make sure that the developer or whoever is in charge of this property now is informed that this was something that was coming to city council and they're aware of this additional.
So if you'd like me to reach out to whoever buys it, I'm happy to notify them of that.
I think she's asking if you've notified the current property owner.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Estates.
So that was
That's
the whole
part of-
purpose of 218 was to reach out to them, let them know that this is the cost of this. And and so they, it's set up that if these were already 45 individual lots, you'd send it out to 45 different people and then they vote. And if there was a discrepancy, they could contest it. In this particular case, it was one person.
And that was just a name.
Yep.
Okay,
So he was well aware of the entire system and how it works, so.
just wanna make sure. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
My next question. Open item number 7 up to the community for discussion. And no comments from the committee, I will close comments to the public. And there a motion.
Motion to confirm the engineer's report for maintenance assessment district 8, Stefan Estate subdivision. Motion to determine that no majority protests exist pursuant to articles 8D of the California Constitution. Motion to adopt the resolution 2026 R014 forming maintenance assessment district 8 and levy the annual assessment for fiscal year 26-27 and authorize collection on the county tax roll.
Second. Second, roll call.
Councilmember Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Calderon,
Yes.
Mayor Farr.
Yes. Moving on to item number 8, Food Park Edition request. Spoken for the Food Park?
I don't believe so. Putting on.
There's somebody in the. Speak on Food Park?
This is, I have a short
Oh,
presentation.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you were up.
Yeah, I thought you were asking if there was also somebody from Quail Park. This came in right as I was walking up here, so I made copies real quick. It's 2 pages and it shows one of the items. So there's 2 items that the Quail Club would like to add to this park. I think they added that fountain quite some time ago and a few other things over the years. And they just want to continue to add to the park. So every time I make a presentation for you, it comes out different than what I. That's good. So this is they're proposing to install wrought iron archway and grow some jasmine on it. It would be at the end of this walkway, framing that fountain. And I have an image of it down here. And then also Little Free Library is sponsored by Friends of the Library. And this is the design that you have in front of you now. This is inspired by a couple of members of the club that had passed away in 2021. And there were a number of donations that were given to the club. And they've been trying to figure out what they want to do with that money. And so this is what they've come up with. They hope that it's something that honors their members. The wrought iron archway here. This is what would be framing that fountain. The anchor they propose either bolting it into the concrete, but I think what might be more appropriate is sinking it on either side of the walkway and concrete below the ground to keep that entire walkway open. And we've talked about potentially raising it up. Of course, all of this would have to go to the building department for review for safety and make sure structurally sound. So yeah, going to building department, make sure it's safe. Little Free Library, I just threw these random pictures in here, not knowing that somebody was going to show up right when I was coming up here. But yeah, the idea of this is just to have reading material free available to the public. It's a way to promote literacy, reading, community building, enhances the park in ways, and encourages people to attend the park. They hope that these benefits will lead to people just going there for pictures and going there to read and that sort of thing. So for these reasons, we recommend that council does approve this. We don't see anything that would bring anything negative to the community or to the park. The library, I should add, and I meant to put a picture in there, is proposed to be along Washington. And there's 2 trees where the sidewalk kind of curves around them. It would be to the left of those trees. Any questions?
Sounds like a great proposal.
Comment, I think they will maybe, what about vandalism?
Yeah, that was the first thing I brought up too. And everybody likes reading. But you know, anything that's out there is susceptible to vandalism. Anyone can go out there and kick over the fountain or hit a bat out there or spray paint. So yeah, it'll be equally vulnerable, but this is something that the Dakota Club contends they will maintain and friends at the library, when I brought it up, I said, you know, if it doesn't work out, somebody goes out there and just keeps tearing it down, then we'll just pull it out.
No comments?
Of course, it's a great idea, and I know that the only other library that I'm aware of, like that's free, is over at the St. Timothy's Episcopalian Church, but I think they're just more of a food pantry that's easily accessible, but definitely something that is much needed in Gridley, so good idea for the club to come together with him.
Public comment. Improvement before the club. Comments from the public, we'll close comments from the public. There's the motion.
I'll motion to approve the archway and little library additions as proposed.
Next. Roll call please.
Vice Mayor Johnson,
Yes.
Mayor Farr,
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts,
Yes.
Councilmember Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilmember Calderon.
Yes.
Very good. Move to council committee reports.
I'm not attending any meeting this year, but I do have maybe some news. I began to organize a celebration recognizing our seniors since Gridley. As you know, some of them are facing harsh times due to economic issues. And they have a hard time. So I've been associating myself with some of the clubs here in Chamber of Commerce and hopefully the Lions. I haven't had a response from them. I would really hope that the departments of City of Gridley can actually be the president. Most important, I'd like to bring some of the agencies that provide services to Gridley, especially waste management. The lady Cindy, is that her name? Agreed to actually come over and talk to our residents about the increases in waste management fees, and I need to explain that to our people, not only the council. That's basically what I'm planning on right now. I really like the city to collaborate on this plan. It's up to you. That's the news.
Thank you.
Had a chamber meeting, Rich Spenders is all getting planned out well, everything's looking good. Major.
Thank you. Chair.
Just one comment, just kind of add on to what you were saying about waste management. I did attend an LTF meeting here, let's say a month ago at the landfill. And one of the main reasons that the haulers consistently in Butte County are charging more is because of the tipping fees at the dump. And that's pretty much, from what I understand, that's the reason why the fees are going up. So that was just one thing I learned. And then also, I attended Sutter Butte flood control. And if I can find where exactly. What we approved was we implemented an agreement with the California Department of Water Resources on approval of an amendment to the agreement with R&R Horn contractors for the Oroville Wildlife Area Thermalito Recreation Improvements Project. And then we approved a task order, 15 amendments, number 2 and 3 with eCore Consulting Incorporated for environmental permitting supporting the Orville Wildlife Area Robinson's Riffle Project. We are going to going on to the management report at mosquito abatement. Couple of things. One is we considered a capital expenditure for vector control data management system, which we're looking at 2 or 3. I think we're going to go with Chico State, which provides a system that is pretty unique for applying all of the insecticides and stuff for mosquitoes. It's pretty interesting. Also, we approved the annual letters for the organic rice letter and memorandum of understanding for the aggressive mosquito control on lands in excess of 3 acres. We have to go into MOUs. Anything that it's excess of 3 acres. And that's about it that sticks out, other than maintenance and having the foggers tested by a third party to make sure our foggers are putting out the right amount of insecticide. So I mean, that's all I have. Thank you.
No report for me. Thank you.
The administrative report.
Just your regular ongoing meetings with the department staff on budget. Review also of AMI project for electrical metering that we've put off now, so meeting with internal staff on that. Grants, there was a presentation provided previously, so we're following up on a lot of those grants and working in-house staff. And then also I met with California Human Development to talk about a grant opportunity collaboration. They have an in-house grant writer that would be free to the city to assist with grants. So that was good news to hear. Usually there's a charge when you go for consulting to assist with grants and they have someone in-house. So we'll be reaching out to them to see if we can look into, there's 2 opportunities. One of them is potentially for rehabbing of parks, and the other one would be for a community center. So we're working and trying to look for all avenues of that.
Department head reports.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Want to start out with a quick recap on our emergency responses for the month of March. For city incidents, we had 83 incidents. County was 52 incidents for a total of 135 incidents. This time of year is a busy time for the fire department, obviously planning for fire season and also focusing on operational readiness and meeting our training commitments. So our personnel have been committed to a number of different trainings over the past weeks. Our station personnel also went to McKinley Elementary School and read to the kids for the Read Across America event. And then all Gridley fire apparatus, including the new ladder truck, have had Cradle Point installed, which will assist them with connectivity on emergency assignments as well as just in general. And then our personnel also remain engaged in the Red Suspenders Day planning. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
So our ladder truck is ready to go.
It is, so Cradle Point is installed, which is why I was in Sacramento, and that took more time than had been expected. It's going to be transported in the near future to Fairfield, where the radios will be installed, and probably looking a minimum of a couple more weeks there. So a little more delayed than we had hoped on getting it from Sacramento to here, but it is progressing along.
And hopefully we don't put the work for a while.
Yeah. Anything else? Thank you.
That's it.
Good opportunity first. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just, yeah, I don't think he wants to come up here tonight. Just real quick, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to work with council, City Gridley, the residents, and I'm here to do the best I can. And Hope everything goes well. Other than that, update wise, just a real quick one again on Highway 99. It is for sure Archer is open. So,
Oh, it is.
yes. So this morning I drove by there again and was actually able to drive down it. So.
Both sides, huh?
Exactly. They got all the sidewalk forked through all the irrigation districts or canals. All the way through town. You are gonna see some jackhammering. They got boxes to realign, some bad spots. So that's still going on, but at least the concrete is down.
Yeah.
So next big thing is hopefully we get the asphalt taken care of. That will be later this summer though.
Yeah.
Heat comes on and then they can pave and have a better quality. So that's about it. Tony, any questions? Great. Thank you.
Nothing significant to report from the police department.
Okay, nothing from finance.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I'd also like to thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to working with you, making this a better place. Mine's more of a status update. We started our substation maintenance last week. We did half the breakers and main transformer. Everything tested good. There was only one item that we had to replace, pressure release valve or sensor, which isn't a huge cost. I'm working on estimates right now, but it was under $5,000 for this piece of equipment from the engineer, but I'm working to get the best price. With that, we'll be conducting the rest of the maintenance in the Gridley sub, and we'll be working on the big sub this week. Hopefully we can get some of the stuff outside done, but it's supposed to be raining here this next day. So it's just poor timing, unfortunately. And other than that, I just wanted to give you an update on that work.
I do have a question.
Mhm.
Please. So there was no outages. You didn't have to turn anything off to do that?
In Gridley, we're able to switch it over without losing any
Oh,
customers. Since
okay.
we have two station transformers, we can put them together and then separate them.
Oh, okay.
Biggs doesn't have that. We have to shut them completely off and then switch it over to the backup line. But they're gonna actually do it this evening at midnight. So less people even notice it happens. Still, even though we give notice, they call. Somebody forgets about it. But they'll be switching it over this evening, and then Thursday we'll come back and switch it back at midnight.
Maybe I'll take a snapshot of that. Says PG.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it'll help.
They were here tonight.
Huh?
They were
Yeah, she
here.
left, yeah,
Yeah, Brenda.
she was here. That's all I have unless you have any.
Any questions? Congrats. Thank you, Ryan. Council, so we've been ramping up the safety element, and, Legacy's environmental review, both of those have kicked off and continuing to push forward on those. The out in the field is kind of intermittent. Pacific Flyway, obviously they have a much larger footprint to try and grade and prepare before they can go vertical, but Orchard View is already going vertical. You can probably see them from Highway 99, which is pretty impressive. They got there quick, so it's exciting, but you know, it's off and on for as long as there's weather, they gotta kind of work on when they can. Aside from that, yeah, like our administrator mentioned, we've been working on grants for parks, resiliency center, Laurel Street project, streets and sidewalks. They're all in various stages, and some are more competitive than others, so it'll be hard to know exactly which ones pull through for us, but fingers crossed. Aside from that, there's a few, the truck depot projects and a few little things going on, but major. Any questions? No question. Great. No, never missed anybody, no more discussions, we're adjourned till May 4th.